Welcome into the Pop Culture Pile Driver. I am Jason Rossi. You can find me on the old Twitter machine at Jason D Rossi. And with me, as always, is my tag team partner in the podcast and streaming sphere. He can be found on the Twitter machine at Billy D2411. He is Billy D. Billy, what is up?
Hello. We're going to drink. At least I am pretty heavily right now. We're going to talk about our favorite alcoholic drinks, man.
Especially in these trying times where we're, this is basically us at a bar right now.
Yeah.
Ooh. Starting early. It's always White Claw time in your world. But yeah, so we are going to talk about best quarantine drinks. These are the drinks that we're enjoying in quarantine. Billy will be enjoying throughout this experience. So if just in case you were wondering, maybe I'll check these guys out, maybe I won't, this is probably going to be the video to watch. We'll go through a couple of our favorites, things we're drinking, things that we suggest you take a drink at. We're also going to talk a little non-alcoholic as well as alcoholic. But, Billy's been kind of every week in between these. Last week we did the Scrubs top 11 episodes. Any feedback you got or any thoughts you had on it looking back?
All the feedback I got was very positive. The kid who was commenting quite a bit, Frank Lefty, loved it. Thought it was a great episode. I mean, we probably should have had him on. He knew more than us put together.
No. Screw that.
It was a lot of fun, though. Scrubs, one of my favorite shows of all time. So really fun to do a recap of that one. And maybe we can do a character breakdown. I know we did a little three count of the side characters, which goddamn Mac and Goo. I mean, they do everything Dork does. Then they steal from them. We steal from them. We were talking about doing a Seinfeld side characters, and they scooped it.
Yeah, we were saying side characters are one-off. So just so you know, a little behind the scenes, a little how the sausage is made. I do a lot of my texting to Bill either in the morning or during what we call the sleep routine for my son. Usually it's like a 45-minute window at night from the point he's done with his bath. I'm kind of hands off. Mom takes over. Then I put him down to sleep. Then there's about 15 minutes afterwards. Anyways, the point of this is I thought I sent Billy a text letting him know because we were thinking this was going to be a night we were going to do Seinfeld side characters. And I saw Mac and Goo were doing it and literally on the moment we were talking about it. So then I was like, all right, let me text him. I ended up texting my father's girlfriend. I just found that out about an hour ago. And she didn't respond. She didn't say, was that meant for me? No offense to older people on Facebook. I mean, no older people in general. That's such you have to say, oh, I think this was a mistake. Absolutely. I literally said Mac and Goo are doing a Seinfeld side characters. And then the follow-up was to you. And that's why I think you were confused. So I'm like, why wouldn't you say, oh, wrong text?
Yeah.
Just sitting there that was the last correspondence between the two of us. We're talking about cauliflower rice. Then out of nowhere, I go, Mac and Goo is doing a Seinfeld side character one. So we should maybe think about doing drinks. No, not even I think that's a mistake. Just.
I've had some pretty bad accidental texts to the wrong people. So now before I click anything, I always look at the top and be like, yes, send.
Let me ask you this. Do you have an iPad?
I do have an iPad, but it's so old I haven't used it, and I might as well not.
So I use my iPhone most of the time for my texting. I use my laptop sometimes for texting, and I use my iPad. So sometimes
that's dangerous.
That's where the mistakes come in because you'll see a number, or like me and you were texting. So I'm like, oh, it must be my last text when I sent it, and she must popped up. Whatever, it was a mess, but nonetheless, going back to the Scrubs top 11, some feedback I received was definitely people enjoyed it. It was a nice way for people to kind of relive and watch again. We didn't really do enough mentioning. You did once or twice that it is on Hulu for you to check out. So I think there's a way, and there's going to be things we can create that people can stream through a link. If we were to put a top 11 episodes and click here to watch this one, click here to watch that one. The other thing I would say for my own critique of myself, definitely want to rewatch some of the episodes because my lunch, which I thought was a great episode, watched it again with my wife the other night. We were both like, this is heavy.
Oh, super
that
heavy.
Was
I rewatched it right. Oh, it was so sad. I rewatched it right before we did the podcast. I think that was the episode I watched literally right before. And it's just they're so trying to make you pull on the heartstrings. It's good. It had some funny moments, but for the most part, that was just a downer of an episode. And again, I look to my comedies to be funny.
Yeah, no,
shocker.
I know, crazy, right? Half-hour comedy, give me some laughs. But anyway, so that was, a little bit from last week. I think just going forward when we do those, for my sake, I want to rewatch as much as I can, especially half-hour shows. Obviously, we'll have some ideas for next week based on another show that we really liked. We'll talk about that a little later. But let's get into some drinks, Bill. Let's talk about them.
I'm already in them.
I'm sure you are. So just give a quick overview. Can we get a quick peek again at the drinks you have below before we even talk about them?
All right, so I made an old fashioned. I got a drink.
Okay.
I had a giant piece of ice that's starting to shrink already.
Now, do you have the ice cube maker for that?
I don't, but what I did was I took a giant paper cup and I just filled it with water, and then you get the at the beginning of this drink, the ice cube.
Lift it up, lift up the drink. Yeah,
the ice cube,
that looks good.
It's still pretty big. I mean, the ice cube's still pretty big in there. This is a Bahama Mama.
Yeah. Ooh, we'll get to that.
This is a margarita.
Yeah, baby.
This is a White Claw.
For heard of those.
And then I got a box of wine on the ground.
Okay, so let's start here. We'll have 5 drinks. Kind of got a preview of Bill's, but we'll go back and forth. I think we start on the. Well, let me start with one of mine that I found. This is a drink I discovered that I think is just excellent. I'm a big bourbon fan. This one right here, I have a bacon bourbon here. So this one you don't do a lot of mixing with for flavored drinks, but this is called a Bourbon Iced Tea. What you do is you take bourbon, 3 ounces of this pup or less flavored. This one I would just drink straight with ice or if potentially like a soda water. Anyway, so you take bourbon, you get lemon juice, you get whatever your favorite style fruit is. So if you like strawberries, you like watermelon, you like your blueberries, you like grapefruit, if you're a psychopath, whatever you like, orange, you muddle it up a little bit, or as I don't professionally muddle, I just crush. You can use that. And then what you do is you put it in with the lemon, mix it together, pour it in your bourbon drink, a little splash of soda water, garnish it with whatever fruit you like. That is called a bourbon. We'll call it strawberry iced tea if you like strawberry. So there's no actual tea involved. It's just the lemon is where the tea side comes from.
So being a friend of ours, if you go to a steakhouse, when you get the steak, you get an old fashioned.
Yes.
So this is an old fashioned. I believe at my bachelor party, right before my marriage was blessed by a nun, we had what was called a new fashion, and it was one of the most disgusting drinks I'd ever had in my life. They gave you like buzz balls to put in your mouth too. It was weird, but I do like a good regular old fashioned, especially, from a lady too, but that's another story for another day.
Hello.
But the classic old fashioned, bitters, sugar, whiskey, rye whiskey. I like it with the rye whiskey.
Ditto.
Yeah, mix them all up. Get the big ice cube in there. I did this one slightly different. I put a lot of the orange squeeze. You're only supposed to put a dash. I put a ton. I basically put a whole clementine squeeze in there.
Yep.
And then I put a little piece of the clementine down there. Just give it a little extra flavor. Muddle it up real nice. And then a pinch of honey, I find, adds a nice little flavor to it.
I like it.
I hadn't made one in quarantine yet, but one of my buddies kept, Snapchatting me pictures of him making one. So I had to go out. I had to get the bitters and some sugar cubes today to make this official. And I gotta say, this is one of the better old fashions I've ever had, and I'm proud to have made it.
And I think the balance too with the ice cube, the way you have it, the way it sits on top, that's huge. If you're gonna have any, look at that baby. Any type of alcoholic beverage, I think your ice mix is very, very important. You don't want to have it overly iced, so then it gets watered down if you don't drink it quick, and you don't want to have it with too little ice, and then it's super like alcohol. Like when you're 21, you want that drink. When you're an adult, not so much.
This is a good stipper right now. I actually made one for practice earlier with smaller alcohol, and I was like, whoa, a smaller ice cube, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Oh, it's powerful as hell.
So if you're looking for a powerful drink, you can put that.
Another quick thing on it, when you muddle it, add a couple of dabs of water consistently, like keep adding them to make it real nice and like lubricated, I guess. I don't know.
Right, you can already. He's getting toasty, boys. It's only going to go downhill from here. My next one will be. This has been specialty for my wife's. My sister's drinking a lot of this Aperol Spritz.
I don't even know what that is.
So Aperol, which I have over there, I just don't know if I can move because everything might fall in front of me. But Aperol is a liqueur that I believe, don't quote me, is Italian.
I would guess that.
Or French.
Does it end in a vowel?
It ends in an L. But Aperol is a liqueur. I don't know its origins. We'll just say it's Italian. Makes it sound fancy. You put that with some soda water. That's really basically it. And then you add, you could put orange in there. Usually Aperol is an orange liqueur, so it has that orange flavor. I'm going to show you. Can I get my assistant to bring over the Aperol?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Please, thank you.
It's like isopropanol, like alcohol, like you're rubbing alcohol.
It's not, but I'll show you this. It's
like you're drinking Rubinoff over there from Somerville.
What?
Has a nice bite.
Has a nice bite, says the
little
expert.
kick.
You have to like orange.
This is it right here.
Oh, wow. That looks like a cleaning supply.
It sure does, but it is.
It's a digestive.
It's a digestive, I was told as well. But yeah, you add this with a little soda water, a little lime if you want. Prosecco is really what puts the fizz to it. So that's where you get your Aperol spritz. So if you like wine, you want to jazz it up. It's getting nicer out as we get. So that's a lot of theme of my drinks. You want to open up the windows. You want to go outside, sit on your deck. Aperol spritz will absolutely get you there. It's, again, Prosecco, Aperol, a little soda water. My suggestion, we'll get to some non-alcoholic stuff, a little flavored, maybe orange soda water. Really gives it a nice kick as I'm hiding behind this Jameson. It's a great drink. It's great, especially if you're looking to, fancy up the ladies. Order an Aperol Spritz for $2.
It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's aggressive Aperol. It feels like I should find that next to Fantastico in the Family Dollar for 99 cents to scrub off my toilet. Like,
it
it's a
definitely
weird looking thing.
It looks like and kind of sounds like, I can't disagree with you, like a cleaning supply. Like Aperol. Like, let me scrub my toilet to the brim.
It's not like limoncello. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
And so limoncello is classy.
My next one will be the ultimate drink for quarantine. I know a lot of people are feeling these right now. They were actually in a shortage for quite some time, but I pretty much buy a case of these a lot. There's a picture I could show that would be kind of embarrassing of how many I have had during this quarantine because I'm just saving them up for the can lady at the end of the quarantine and just going to push them all out at once. But the White Claw, pretty much the only one I drink is mango. I always get the 20-pack of mango or the whatever it is. It just is the smoothest one. It doesn't taste like alcohol, which I guess is a bad thing. It's the Milk Ultra equivalent of seltzers. It just goes down like water, which can be a little bit troubling.
Yeah.
But it is pretty strong. It's 5% alcohol, which is a little bit more than your normal beer. So you're getting a pretty good buzz from it right away. I know a lot of people give me crap about it. Kevin Silva, who's in the chat, is definitely one of the people who gives us a lot of crap about drinking these. But I know it's popular among, I guess, the millennials right now. And I have no problem admitting I am in that category, barely. And it's just goddamn delicious.
Well, here's my question. And I think the big thing, I don't drink beer. I don't really drink spiked seltzers here and there. I used to have hard cider here and there. Not for me right now. But anyways, what is the best flavors? I always hear the argument of White Claws is flavor battles. So if you were to rank a top 3, what are the best ones?
Dylon. It's mango, 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 mango. All day mango. I will say black cherry isn't terrible if you get stuck with one.
Yay, that's an endorsement. Not terrible. That's
not terrible.
Pop culture pile driver. Get addicted.
But I was out with a fellow coworker before everything went to shit and you go to a bar.
Yeah,
and
one of those days.
we got mangoes right off the bat. And I was like, you will love this. Then the next one, they were like, we're out of mango. I was like, we should leave. And he was like, what? He's like, they got, I think it was raspberry or whatever the hell. I don't even really know the other flavors because I just go for mango now. And he was like, this is completely different. It's a completely different drink if you're not drinking, I would say, the black cherry or the mango.
Okay. So those are the go-tos.
I mean,
is that a mango that you're drinking now?
That's all I would drink. That's all I have.
I don't know. I'm learning.
The new variety pack wasn't terrible. It had some newer flavors. They were pretty good. But I mean, I'm not going to be drinking, clear Pepsi over regular Pepsi. I'm all about the best of the best with honor, sir.
You don't want to throw a little class with the clear Pepsi. Always look cool. White Claws at a bar. Yeah, Billy did order White Claws at a bar. Comments. Also, Aperol is Italian bitter aperitif. Sounds like someone Googled it. Anyway, so my next one will be the classic Jameson and Ginger. I've actually spiced this drink up a little bit by using Zevia, should I say. It is a non-sugar drink soda powered by stevia, sweetened by stevia. It is fantastic. I like it actually better now. It's hard for me to now drink regular soda, because I don't know, just the flavor of it. But there's nothing better than a nice Jameson. I am a big fan of Jameson. If it's Jameson Ginger specifically, if you have more ginger. Some people put so much Jameson in their Jameson Ginger, and I think it's disgusting. If I wanted a shot of whiskey, I would have had a shot. I think when you balance it, you need to have a lot more ginger, like double to triple the amount to really give it that nice flavor. And again, right amount of ice, because it's another one of those drinks. You put too much ice, it starts to drown down. The end of that drink is disgusting. We were in Vegas for a friend of ours' bachelor party, and there was a gajillion Jameson Gingers going around. And there was so much ice at Topgolf in Las Vegas. shout out sponsor of the stream. And it was ridiculous how like at the end of those drinks, I was like, this is disgusting. It was just watered down, just junk. But
so this is the approved drink of our friend group, I would say, is the JMO and Ginger. I love a good Jameson and Ginger. I'm going to switch out one of my drinks because one of our drinks is the same, and I know you have some hot takes on it. So I will kind of,
if you want.
Yeah. Well, I'll piggyback off of this one a little bit and throw in a curveball for my next drink because I love a Jameson and Ginger. I remember one time I was out with my dad and my uncle, who are notoriously very, very, very cheap people, and I ordered a Crown and Ginger. And their faces went.
It must have been like
Big Shot ordering Crown Royal. Because my dad offered to buy. Like I've been out with my dad in a bar.
Sure,
I can count on the number of one shot each hand. Maybe like one who's had a lot of accidents and has 2 fingers. It was like the first time my dad was like, "What do you want to drink?" And I was like, "A Crown and Ginger." And him and his brother looked at me like I was out of my mind ordering something that was like not even top shelf, like mid shelf. So that was hilarious. But I do love myself the Moscow Mule, but substitute the vodka for Crown Royal. The only thing is, I think it's called a Dark and Stormy. With the
ginger beer and it would be a Dark and Stormy.
But I like that lime juice spritz in there. I don't know if that's technically the same thing. You got to get the copper cup. I would have made that for tonight, but I couldn't find my copper cup. I think those are a few moves ago. I left them somewhere. But that is a fantastic drink. There's just something about drinking out. I can only drink it out of the copper cup, because it just makes it extra fucking cold. Like you can just see the condensation and the coldness coming off the cup. When
there is a whatever style of drink you have in a copper cup, when it's making its way, if you're sitting at a table or even if you're at a bar and you see it walking from across the bar, it gets cold automatically. So you see that brim of condensation rising up the drink, and there's nothing better than that. The copper, I actually thought about it one time like that. I should just drink more in that. I don't care if I'm having water, a soda water, ginger ale, Gatorade.
It just feels classy.
I want to have my pre-workout in a copper. Like I need to start doing that.
So one thing that I will say, it's an embarrassing moment for me as a human, as a man, as a drink maker. The first time I had one in a bar, I was like, oh, this is fucking delicious. I'm going to make this at home. Okay. So when I went to go make it at home, I bought ginger beer, but not the soda. I bought legitimate ginger flavored beer.
Alcohol. Oh, boy.
And I had the shaker. So like a moron.
You had a shake weight.
Oh my God. I poured it all together. I put the beer in there. I shaked it. It was just frizz foam everywhere.
Oh my God.
And then I tried to make one without it. And like I poured it and I was like, this fucking tastes terrible. Like ginger beer is awful. Turns out ginger beer is delicious. But the sugar content, it's worse than drinking like a Dr. Pepper. So I get the sugar-free ginger beer. It doesn't taste too bad. It's pretty good.
Yep. I don't know what it is. It's funny you say that because I remember seeing ginger beer, the alcohol, in a store once. I'm like, I don't drink beer. That's not what I'm having in a Moscow Mule. And I had to like go to a bartender and confirm that. I'm like, ginger beer is alcohol.
It's got a little seal on it. That's what the whatever it is, like Goslin's or whatever it is.
Yes,
that shit is fucking legit. That is delicious.
A powerful.
I would drink that on its fucking own. I mean, I'm not the king of ginger ale like Davey. But that is a delicious ginger drink.
I know. I have to talk to Davey about Zevia. I don't know if he might only go for the legit cane sugar version, but I have to talk to him because Zevia to me is bomb.
We'll get to that later.
Yes, we will. All right. So then next for me, I'll save my take on the big one. I will go with I guess I'll go with my Dirty Martini. This is one of my favorite all-time drinks. Simplest drink you can ever have. It is as simple as anything. All you have to do is get yourself some nice vodka. You get yourself some pickle juice. And you put it together. I'm sorry, pickle juice. I'm thinking of picklebacks. I'm sorry, olive juice, and you put them together. It is delicious. I don't like olive juice. Who thinks of olive juice? Whoever came up with this drink and calls it a dirty martini, it should not be successful. It should not be famous. It should not be something people are going to the bar and spending a lot of money on. But they do. It has really worked out really well. I just love the drink. It's another one of those things. You have no ice in your glass. You chill it prior. It's a nice thing. You put in a martini glass. Maybe you're sitting outside again. It's getting warm. This is something when you want to class up your night. When you're sick of the same old, night in, night out. You've eaten the same food. You're doing something. Make yourself a nice dirty martini. Put a smile on your face. And cheers up. Like if you're having a tough day, you pop that one in.
Put on your Sunday best, kids. We're having dirty martinis.
Let's go.
So another fun story about dirty martinis for me. It was an anniversary dinner with a friend of the Girl Variety.
Oh, okay. I was going to say with a friend.
We were out. Man, we should just celebrate our friendiversary.
Yeah, we should. The Facebook friendiversaries. We should all just get together and have a nice classy dinner.
I'm going to figure out what all of ours are. But I was drinking dirty martinis like they were going out of style. And I'm known in our group for being somewhat of a lightweight.
Yeah.
So by the time
there's been a performance of Buttercup that we'll have to get to in a future podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe a cartoon version of that.
Oh geez, absolutely. I could tell that story.
Buttercup. But so we hit 2 or 3 bars. I had 1 or 2 dirty martinis at each one. And anyone who knows me, like I'm tipsy off of I've had like a quarter of this and a really strong one of these and about 3/4 of this one. I was so tanked. We had dinner reservations at a fancy steakhouse before the bread even came out. I went to the bathroom, puked all over the wall.
Yes.
Puked all over the toilet. And I was just God. We got to go. And just pieced out.
Romance 101.
At its finest.
It's funny you say that. And also in the comment section, real quick with the Moscow Mules, at my bachelor party on tap in Wrigley Field.
Oh my God. Me and Zach, one of my best friends.
That destroyed all of us.
But me and Zach were double fisting.
You guys started Moscow Mules
they were on tap.
Yes.
Fucking whiskey. And we were sitting in the bleachers.
For almost 4.5 hours. It was a long game.
You know what the craziest thing about that is? That I don't think we've ever discussed. And it's a little dark, but I'm going to go there because why not?
Great.
That was one of the potential. Remember the Las Vegas shooter?
Yes. At the concert.
That was the other potential site he was looking at. He was looking to rent a house across the field at Wrigley and shoot the bleachers out.
That would have sucked.
Around the time
that wasn't the same time, though, was it?
It was in the same time frame.
Yeah, it was the same year. I know it was that year.
It was right before. It was like 2 months before it happened.
Wow, that would have
been good.
But anyways, the Moscow Mule's on tap.
It was crazy.
Billy some people get handsy when they're drunk. Billy gets morbid and dark. Hey, remember that time?
No, I'm already smiley. I am very drunk.
I like it. But yeah, the Moscow Mules were on tap. It started off as like a joke, like, oh, you guys got to have these. Then I remember every like 3 to 4 minutes. I'm not talking innings, minutes. It was like 17 of us there. People were just going and they were coming back with as many as they could get. I think you were allowed to have like 2 to 3 per person too. Chicago, what a town.
We were double fisting.
And they were just bringing, I remember I had like 3 or 4 and I didn't even want to drink yet. And then
I legitimately had 4 full ones by the 7th inning. That's a
lot of alcohol. That's a bottle
in the sun.
Yes, and that's the thing. It was like had to be high 80s or low 90s. We're sitting in the bleachers of Wrigley Field.
Oh, it was like 95.
And
it was ridiculous.
It was 4.5 hours of a great baseball game, which you don't hear a lot of those two things put together. But it was just a fun game, so much attention, and it was just beaming sun. I got a sunburn. I don't drink a ton, especially to.
Oh, dude, you were kicking your brains out there.
I was toast. I vomited in a car. I was walking in and out of a pizza place several times. That was a disaster. But Moscow Mules, good choice, Bill. Good pivot there.
Quick idea for another pod.
Yeah, how many times you puked?
No. That would be a good one because I have a lot of stories about puking. But
I did puke in an Uber. That was a fact.
But I was ready for it though. He had the puke bag.
He had the puke bags, and I nailed it. I put my head out the window. Not a drop hit. Not the floor, but it went in this bag that I to this day still own. The secondary bag I didn't have to use.
So I've never been to Texas, but I think Chicago, hands down, out of all the cities I've ever been to, is the best food city I've ever been to. It is Texas absolutely phenomenal. And I think we should do with our podcast, brethren, we should all get deep dish pizza ordered from Chicago because they ship them out. It's like $60, but I'm telling you, it's fucking worth it. And we do a taste test of
a podcast pizza party.
I think it would be fantastic.
I know Keith. Me and him worked together for a while. The kid loves a pizza party. So that's a great idea.
Deep dish is a legit thing. Like people who have never had Chicago deep dish. I went there in early March. It feels like it was 10 years ago right now.
It really does.
But we went there and we went to 3 different deep dish places and it was like heaven. If I lived in Chicago, which I wouldn't in a heartbeat, I would be 295 pounds.
And broke because it's a very expensive
expensive city.
Now, look, I'm trying to remember, Bill, Were you there when we went to the secondary pizza place like 2 days later?
Yes.
At Giordano's, or was that the first
Giordano's,
one?
yeah.
That was the second one. We got like those two.
Luminous was the first.
Yeah, so yeah, you were there because we got the barbecue pizza. We saw Charles, right? Like a friend of a friend.
That was one of the drunkest I've ever been in my life. People were carrying me that night.
I was gonna say, what did we do?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No idea.
And then I remember at the very end before we left, me and Matt too went to the observatory at one of the places. Chicago's got a million tall buildings that you can drink at. We were like on like the 58th floor, and we were drinking at some place before we flew out because we were the last two. And I remember thinking to myself, like, and the drinks were like $18 each up there. I'm like, I gotta get the hell out. Like, I'm not coming back. I was part-time at the time too. I'm like, I'm not going back. Like, my to-be wife is gonna be like flipping out on me seeing this credit card bill. Because it was crazy. But anyways, Chicago, that's a good idea. I like the idea. Go get in a deep dish. Another shout out to Chicago for the popcorn place. Now all of a sudden I'm having drawing a blank.
Man.
My brother-in-law to this day
ridiculous.
Orders the jars of that. Because one day we were just walking and we saw it and we got it before we went to the bean, before we flicked the bean. And that was a day of chaos, by the way, all on its own, because everybody was in like 50 different spots. But we went there, and oh my god, what's the name of the popcorn place, Dan? Do you remember? Sorry, my producer.
G is the G.
Garrett's popcorn. My god,
because anyways. I was texted by a friend of a friend's girlfriend. No, a friend's girlfriend. It was like, I don't trust him to grab me this popcorn. Can you please get it for me instead?
Would this have been Caitlin?
No, I'm not going to name names.
Okay, because
I won't put anybody on blast. If you know, you know.
It's not that bad. But anyways, it was still awesome. Chicago, definitely a blast city I want to go back to. But I think it's a good idea. Another idea I thought you were going to say, like, best food city you've been to, because there is some really interesting place. I would actually not put Dallas, Texas that good of food.
I've heard Houston's better.
I'm sure it is. Dallas was fine, but I was because I'm just thinking of a place I've been to for WrestleMania. Like Orlando was good. They had a lot of great TGI Fridays. But anyways, we have Kevin in the comments. Is Kevin correct?
Confirmed.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. I wonder how they're doing. Anyways, so moving on to Billy. I think you have your last one, then I have my last one.
Okay. So my last one will be the box of wine.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
I mean,
what is it? What are you, 18 years old?
No, I think this is like an older woman thing. So I've had this since the start of quarantine. I've had this since like middle of March. I've yet to break it out. It is break glass in case of emergency scenario. But I had another one, a little black box, like they call it like a black box, I think.
Yeah.
It was delicious. You can put this in your fridge. I mean, it is the normal scenario with wine where Lucille Bluth is like a bottle of vodka. Once you open it up, you got to drink it because it's going to go bad.
Exactly.
Shout out Lucille Bluth over my shoulder here.
I see her.
But like, it is like, I love red wine. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I'm on a red wine high, it's just a fantastic feeling. The next morning, not so good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be hungover because I'm not going to break that out. Like I said, that is in case of emergency. That is like blackouts. Where we can't go out for months. Like that is like, this thing is heavy. This is like 10 pounds. This is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
But put it in the fridge. Just like get the tap open. Like you can just open your fridge, hit the tap, boom. It's like you're at a bar. Just getting fresh wine poured straight into the glass. I love a good red wine. This is a nice burgundy. I smell of rich mahogany.
I like
wooden chips. It is delicious. And it's, I feel a little bit, cooler, nicer. Just, I feel good on red wine. I don't know why.
Because you know why? Because red wine, I truly believe, no matter what emotion you have, it will accentuate. You're having a bad day. Your boyfriend broke up with you. Oh no, he didn't. You drink a glass of red wine. You're like, girl, forget it. And then if you're in like, man, I had a great week, got a raise, boss is a compliment to me, have a glass of red wine, boys, let's hit it. It's one of those. I feel like it just accentuates whatever your emotion is. I don't do any form of drugs, but I feel like that is the closest thing to it. I feel like red wine it takes whatever's going on inside and accentuates it out. Also, if you're cold, red wine warms up the soul. It's a true story. Warms up the cockles.
I would agree. It really is a nice. It goes with everything. Another thing we do, like when we go out.
Well, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, you've been to Vegas with Jimmy. You've seen Jimmy at a steakhouse.
It was this year. I was sitting next to him, and it was awful.
It's French onion soup. It's an old fashioned. and we all order a bottle of red wine, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 when we get our steaks. It just pairs so nicely. I mean, there's so many different kinds of red wine. I think Merlot is probably my favorite.
Ooh.
But it's just a feel good. Like you said, it's like a drug. Like you know how like they say steroids that gives you roid rage. It really just brings out whatever personality you are. When I drink red wine, I am the happiest, go luckiest, just like let's do it kind of guy that's ever been.
Yeah, except for unless you're really trying to do it. Red wine, it can be tough. Don't have too much.
But no, I think that's like
No, not too much. I'm saying like if you have...
I mean, that's with anything.
Yeah, but this specifically, you have...
they call it whiskey dick for a reason, man.
Well, yeah, I agree. But that's
I just had a bunch of fucking old bastards.
Well, luckily, hopefully there's no Night Stalkers coming.
Oh, no, there's not.
No wearing gloves in areas I don't want to know. But good protection. So I would say... The one thing about red wine for my favorites, I love Malbec. Thank you. I have my producer again. Malbec to me is bomb.
So I used to love the Australian wines because they were the cheapest.
Ooh, the Australians, the cheap ones. Those are the ladies. But yeah, I love that. And for other red wines, my usually go-to, I actually have one right here. As you said, a nice Merlot. Nothing more classy than it accentuates any red meat, even chicken wings sometimes. Real good with most of your darker meats. And sometimes I even had it with salmon, even though a lot of people say, oh, you got to team that up with the white wine. F off. Salmon's like its own little category. Salmon and pork are like their own little categories. But yeah, I'm a big fan of red wine. I don't do the box wine. I don't really understand it. Like, I don't get what happens. Like once you open it, like, can you keep it? Where do you go?
I was taught by someone at a young age, a friend's mother, that box wine is the way to go. It wasn't like a
Stephanie's mom.
Yeah, it wasn't a Brazzers or Naughty America situation at that time. But it's just like, it's like on tap in your fridge and it's cold. I can get down with that.
Yeah, I guess for me, it just reminds me of high school when I see people play Slap the Bag, and I grew up in an Italian home, and wine you had to respect, and I feel like people don't respect wine, and when people don't respect wine, wine doesn't respect them, and I used to see a lot of people throw up, and a lot of people do some stupid stuff. So
the worst hangovers I've ever gotten, I just feel like my body is just like dried out if I have way too much wine. If I'm drinking wine, it's like 1 or 2 glasses. The people, I could finish a bottle and don't believe me. In my day, during my bad times, I certainly have.
What, last week?
Probably like 3 weeks ago. But no. But like a good red wine, it just accentuates my mood, and my mood is typically happy. So it's not a bad thing.
You're usually just a cynical prick, but I would say you're a happy person.
I mean, what does one of our friends say? Like, Drunk Billy is my favorite Billy because I just grin like a motherfucker when I've been drinking, especially red wine. Dork,
especially right now.
Yes. Dork, who's late to the party, says his personal top 5 is
got?
Long Island iced teas, Margarita, which is right here.
We'll talk about
it. An IPA beer. And I was trying to get some more slates from Idle Hands. They were out. So I was very mad. So I'm going to see if they have it. I have ordered some Four Seams. Idle Hands, we love. Malden Zone, they have an Edgeworth, which I love as well. And then Sangria and a rum and
I like that.
Yeah, Sangria. And I told you, I've had a lot to drink, me at least, and a rum and pineapple. So, I was going to make a Long Island iced tea, and then I saw the list of things that you need, and I was like, mother of God.
No.
Like, no.
Bill, here's the thing with Long Island iced tea.
Long Island. Jesus.
I got you. Let me get this. So I will say I love a Long Island iced tea in one occasion only. At the movies, because it's cheap and you get a lot of alcohol, and you don't want, because I don't want to drink too much, especially if I'm going to go see like Avengers when I was seeing those movies. Remember when the movies was a thing? That might never come back, but that's a story for another time. But to go with Keith, I remember, or Dork representative Keith, but I remember he tweeted to our tweet, he made a Long Island iced tea, and it was funny because looking at like you guys
can't. You get like 8 bottles. It tastes like 8 bottles of alcohol.
It's because all it is. It's literally, it was like a drunk college dude's idea who must have been on Long Island and must have loved iced tea, of course, baby.
It's jungle juice.
It's literally like, rum, sure, gin, throw it in there. Oh, you want tequila? Throw that in there too. It's literally every alcohol you have in your cabinet, and you just pour it all in one glass, and then you top it off with a soda because that makes sense, and then you drink it. It is great for financially, but everything else about it makes me sick to my stomach.
So I went to Uno's one time, and there was a bartender there.
I feel like I was here.
Yeah, I think you were. So I went to Uno's. I think you and Courtney and a few other people might have been there. And I ordered a Long Island iced tea, and it was from a bartender. I had worked with him in the past at somewhere else. And he's like, "Oh, so you're a humid piece of garbage." Oh. And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Only pieces of garbage order a Long Island iced tea." So I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because you're just trying to get fucked up right now." I was like, "I don't know. It's a Long Island iced tea." I was like,
that's the goal.
When I drink, I drink to get drunk. That is that's my goal. That's what I'm doing it for. So why not? Why not go for broke?
I think to go with Kevin's comment here, Billy should do every podcast drunk. I don't disagree. I think certain ones. I think especially when we have added people in a topic like this that's so more conversational. Because if I needed you to be streamlined right now, I could only.
I could not. I could not. Because I'll tell you that first old fashioned I had, I was like, ooh. Probably not good. That's why I made some Crystal Light here.
Yeah, some urine.
And then I had another one, which was honestly, I think it was the best old fashioned I've ever had.
It was good because you drank the whole thing in the 30 minutes we've been doing this. I noticed at one point it started off pretty tall. Look, let's pull up that old fashioned right now.
I mean, the ice cube was still pretty big.
Yeah, but the alcohol content is gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good for you.
I mean,
get it done.
So I've had a couple old fashions that make me go like. Didn't like that. But that one went down smooth, and I'm telling you, it's the touch of honey. Touch of honey really makes a difference.
I like it. I like the honey with from the Murder Hornets. All right, so the last one for me, margarita. Everybody loves a margarita. Nothing better than this time of year. Look at that margarita. See, you know what I would do with that margarita? I would pour it out and throw it in the goddamn trash. Because you know why? The best margarita, Bill, is frozen.
I mean, I will not argue that the best margarita is frozen. I didn't have time or the ability to make one.
Actually, fun fact for you. I just bought a Ninja blender food processor combo because my NutriBullet, which I was blending up some nice ice margs recently, crap the bed. Not happy about it. So Amazon's getting my money. Pay me them. So I have that coming. And I'll be honest, I get it. I've had margarita of every fashion. It depends on how it's made.
Salt on the rim?
Salt on the rim is a must. For a while, it was enough.
Has to be.
If you don't get
look at this rim.
Yeah, look at that rim.
Look at that rim.
That's a good rim job. But I would say that honestly, if you're getting a margarita and you're like, no salt, why?
Go to hell.
Honestly, go to hell. And then
die.
if you have the option for frozen, now I get it. If you're out to dinner and it's the middle of winter, you're not getting a frozen margarita. Totally get it. But a superior margarita is a frozen margarita on a warm day, especially if you're somewhere tropic or crap. But when I crack open the deck behind me, I love a frozen margarita with a Grand Marnier float. Here's the secret weapon, boys and girls. It is the Josh Gordon special. This mother trucker was getting 160 catches this season. This is what he was drinking before his games. And when he came out and admitted it, with all of his problems, I got those problems too, but I'm not a professional athlete. You put Grand Marnier float on top, or if you want to mix it in, that's fine. My wife has introduced me to the Grand Marnier float, and it is superior style. If you're going to have a margarita, take your little ice cubes, burn them, because you want to have a frozen margarita, pour the little Grand Marnier on top. It is unbelievable. I get it. You're going to a restaurant and it's January. You don't want a frozen margarita. Maybe you don't want to be judged. Don't really care. But it is far superior than any other kind. But if you are going to get it, you got to get the salt rim. Or some people, some classy joints, will do a little salt on top of your ice cubes, like when they pour them in.
Have you been to Disney?
I have been to Disney, but I have not done adult Disney.
Because if you get the yard marg.
Good night, everybody.
The one that's like this big.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's frozen. It's a frozen yard margarita.
Yeah, those are the best.
We have them at in Vegas at my bachelor party where we were drinking.
I wasn't there.
Oh, that's.
I was in the fetal position in my bed, but I was also commented on the airplane. I've never heard a name ever once announced in the history of airplanes, and somehow people always to this day will tell the story.
You want to know a little secret?
It didn't really happen.
I don't think it happened.
No, Kevin random people have told me without being around other people.
No. I'm going to say 100% didn't happen. I go along with the story. It's like a few other stories that have happened in the history of our friendship that I'm like,
yeah,
I'll just admit that it actually happened because I think people just made it up. I never heard your name. It was my bachelor party. I didn't hear you call.
I'll be honest.
I've never in my life heard Jason Rossi, last chance to board the plane. Yeah. Never happened.
Or is Jason Rossi
never
here?
Happened.
Everybody said he's not coming. I've said I've been on numerous planes where there are people that did not show up, and I've never once heard the announcement of their name.
You hear it at the gate. Every once in a while at the gate, you'll hear like, "Oh no, it didn't happen." Kevin says 100%.
I believe Kevin
because I also happened.
When they came
I may have been very drunk because we had a lot of drinks before we took off, but I don't think it happened.
I've been told when I got back, I lived with two people that were on that trip. The first story they told me when they came back was that story.
And one of them is the second biggest liar you know besides me.
Yeah, I think he's the first biggest liar. I put you second.
All right.
He extends the truth like nobody else's business. But
I think that's what I do. I think he's just a flat out liar.
That could be too. But yeah, at the end of the day, the margarita, get it frozen, get it wherever you can get it. Frozen in a yardstick, great. That seems like a little weird and probably a lot of crap in it. But if you just go and they offer a frozen marg, and it's not in the swishy system. We're not talking 7-Eleven style. When they actually blend it and do it there, they have the Island Oasis machine or whatever. Oh my God. And you've been to Aruba. I've been to Aruba. There, I don't know what it's just basically Aruba, but there's nothing better. Oh, baby. Nothing better than a nice frozen marg at about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You just had your third lunch and you are sitting on the beach with 2 margaritas in hand, frozen. Just pour it on my chest. It's the best.
It really is. The only thing I will say about the frozen margarita, the only thing that can compete with it, regular margarita, kick rocks. Don't like it.
Yeah,
but a skinny margarita. Have you ever had one of those? Not the Skinnygirl one, which I'm currently drinking right here.
Nice.
But the skinny margarita where they make it with just the limes at the bar.
That's all I have. That's all I do. If I get a margarita.
It's really, really good. But there's a place in Malden, El Portro, which one of our friends basically got me blacklisted from because he didn't tip because he sucks, and it's Kevin, who's also in the chat. But
Kevin is cheap, I've heard. I've heard that.
So before. I would ask for the skinny margarita, and they would look at me like, really? You're going to ask for the one that's hard to make? It's like, yeah.
That's not hard.
It's not. It takes more effort than the regular one. But they would look at me like I was a fucking asshole because I asked them to squeeze a few extra limes. Like, come on.
If you're a bartender,
it's delicious,
and you give any flack to a customer that wants to, and I can understand if you're looking for some like top shelf thing that doesn't go with something, I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's your job. Yes. If someone calls me, I get difficult calls all the GD time for my job and what I do. I was about to say stupid, but that would have been rude. And they're helping pay the bills. The house is still here. But like, it's ridiculous. The people I deal with are very stupid. But that is ridiculous. Like I get all these. Imagine me just being like, oh, really? You're gonna have me do some work? Like, no, yeah, you squeeze in limes with tequila and maybe a splash of soda. Oh, kill me. That's so difficult. Come on, give me that crap. If you are at home and you want to make a nice margarita and you're kind of lazy and all the stuff we're talking about, there is a mix. My producer grabbed the mix out of the refrigerator because if I move, I might smash all of our alcohol. My handy producer, Din, the producer, I found this. This is robe. In her
smoking jacket.
Oh, in her smoking jacket. Yeah, if you want to make an appearance, you can. There she is.
I always do this.
Yeah. So this right here is amazing. It's 5-calorie cocktail mixer margarita. Bill, all we got going on in here is simple key lime juice cocktail blend from concentrate. How much sugar, you're probably wondering? 1 gram of sugar, 1 gram and a shot of this puppy. And that's all it's going to take. Oh, no, sorry. 3 ounces, 3 fluid ounces of this, 1 gram of sugar. It's the good stuff. Go get this. If you're sitting at home and you're like, I need to make a margarita, pop this puppy. If you don't want to go through all the work, it's perfect. 5 calories per 3 ounces, 1 gram of sugar. You are going to probably die young, but you're going to look good in a casket.
So I think I got this right. The first time I saw you after you had a child, I gave you the Skinnygirl Margarita.
No, you give me Skinnygirl Mojito.
Mojito. Oh, I mean, like,
we're all fiends for mojitos.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say. I also tried to like make a mojito. I was like, that's too much. That's too much. I don't want to get mint. No one wants to get mint.
No, fuck that.
No. But I do love a good mojito when I'm out at a nice Spanish restaurant. But the Skinnygirl Margarita, when you are in need, it's fantastic.
Just so you know, most people call it a simple margarita or a skinny margarita. They don't always add the girl. Girl is just the branding.
I don't care. I'm fine with that. But like, it is delicious if you have that like little salt around the rim. It is fantastic.
The salt really does make a margarita. It's very true. Very few drinks that I used to not get the rim. Like I frequent a lot of different Mexican restaurants. That is the one thing I think once things start to open back, and I know you can like sit outdoors right now, whatever. I think that's the one thing I'm not missing eating out. I really enjoy cooking and I've enjoyed experimenting with some stuff. And also it's cheaper. I don't miss even like drinking out, not too much, but I do think like it would be nice to just sit on like an outdoor patio deck setting anything outdoors, having like a nice margarita with that salt with, oh man, I am looking forward to that.
I'm
You know what?
looking forward to it as a single man. So, it's a little
Oh,
different.
please. It's going to be Slay City. It is Fat Boy Summer with the PH. And people, it is going to, I can only imagine being single, what's going to happen once these doors start unlocking, because it is going to be nuts. Literally in people's mouths. Oh, you don't have to fingers crossed. It's just going to happen. People have pent up. All right. They're pent up.
Oh, yeah.
You already, and Bill, you have a key in the back of you have a little ace up your sleeve. I've been tested.
I have been tested for a
Come
lot
on.
of things.
You should have like a card or a doctor. Anyways, before we wrap up, non-alcoholic drinks. So I have become quite the connoisseur, or as I texted Billy, the conjuree of all things soda water and seltzer waters recently. I have been crushing the game. I used to be a big Polar guy. I never liked soda water for the longest time. I just don't like.
Why not though?
Carbonation for me wasn't for me. Just didn't like it. And then what? Oh, I don't know. I guess it was a gunshot in my neighborhood. And then all of a sudden, I just started drinking them like crazy. So I love Polar. One of my favorites is the vanilla orange Polar. Delicious.
Oh, that's my favorite. That is without doubt my favorite.
Oh my God, that is so good. Cherry, I like dark cherry as well. Then I stumbled upon a few new brands. And Bill, I got some favorites. We talked a little bit about Zevia earlier. Zevia is fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, sorry, Kevin said no Tito's and soda. No, Kevin, no Tito's and soda. Didn't make the
mean, if I want to be a basic bitch, sure. I mean, I think that's more basic than drinking White Claws.
My simple drink is I'm more Jameson Ginger than I am vodka soda. That's just me.
I mean, if I want to be a random girl on her diet, sure, I'll have a Tito's and soda.
I like to be a random girl on a diet every so often. But yeah, so for me, when it comes to soda waters, the new power list for me, this bubbly brand, holy crap. This stuff is amazing. Good. The flavor of this orange bubbly is right up there with Zevia, and it's not sweet.
No.
Yeah, Bill, I'm telling you, this is the most pure orange flavored soda water I've ever had. This is delicious. This is fantastic. This is some of the best. They also have a mango version that we don't have anymore in the house because we drink it like crazy. It is so goddamn delicious. So bubbly gets 2 thumbs up on the flavors of orange, mango. The cherry's okay. Cranberry's okay. Then I stumbled upon the biggest piece of crap flavor I've ever had for anything. Watermelon.
Yeah, sounds watermelon, good. Not great.
The only thing good about watermelon.
Only good in actual watermelon.
Or Big League Chew. Or Jolly Rancher.
Gum.
Yeah, or a snacky thing like that they artificially flavor. This water tastes literally like dirt. If I was told it was minerals in it, I'd be like, oh, okay, it makes sense. It tastes crap. But another great one is this AHA brand. I don't know if you've heard about this one yet. AHA, AHA.
Take on me?
Yes, exactly. It's no cartoon ripping you need. There's a peach flavor, peach honey. They have very weird mixed flavors. There's like a citrus green tea. They have all these crazy mixes, but the peach honey is fantastic. It's another one, highly recommend. But bubbly, if you're someone who doesn't want to drink alcohol, which I completely understand and recommend too, this bubbly brand is so damn good. I'm still down with Polar. They're local. I love them. Great stuff, but I've really fallen for bubbly. You don't get as much for the same price. You get 8 cans instead of 12. So depending on your budget, but I would say that is some of the bomb stuff right there. So go get yourself a pineapple, go get yourself some orange. Bill, I know you would like these things, and an AHA peach honey soda water.
So my big thing, and I drink probably 90 ounces to 100 ounces of water per day, and it's tough to choke that down if you really have to. But I go with Crystal Light. Any flavor is pretty good. I go with the pink lemonade usually. But it's the only way I can drink a ton of water. There's 5 calories in it, maybe, but it's totally worth it per thing. So I do the fasting thing a lot. So it's tough to get enough water that you need.
Can you have that on fasting, though, if there's 5 calories?
So as long as you stay under 50 calories for anything you consume per hour, you're fine.
Oh, the rules have changed on that fasting all the time.
Yes, so as long as you stay under 50 calories per hour, so I can have 10 of these an hour, and I really have to pee because I've had a lot of these, some of these, and 2 old fashions. So we should wrap this up quickly. But because I'm going to pee my pants, or I'm going to pee in I'll just
do that.
Empty this out and pee in a bottle. But it is the best way to chug out water. It really is. If you need to consume a lot of water during a day, get some Crystal Light, throw it in your water, good to go.
All right, so I think that will do it. We have a lot of stuff. We'll tweet about these. We'll put out maybe some of the ways we've created some of these concoctions over the next few days. Again, it was best quarantine drinks. We appreciate.
One last thing, real quick. I tried to do this. I could not, and I have to pee, so we're going to end it right after this. But one of the best things I've ever done was in high school, we had a lot of ice luge parties, maybe even in college too.
Remember going to Gloucester and picking up the ice luge?
Yes, so it was definitely college because you were there, because we would get ice luges. And I would make a drink called the Blue Meanie.
Yes.
It was fucking
the Blue Meanie
amazing. I went to 2 liquor stores. After the second one, I was like, I don't care about Blue Curacao anymore. I couldn't find it. But I was going to make Blue Meanies for tonight. But you need like Blue Meanie. You need like that. Curacao, triple sec.
Yes.
Orange juice, lemon juice, all of those things.
Gin and juice.
So freaking good. I will make it maybe for the next one and get hammered because Kevin likes me to be drunk on a podcast. But it was the best thing. Look up Blue Meanie. Google it. It is the most delicious shot besides, what is the name of it? I forget. They were handed it out at my wedding.
Divorces.
Yes. No. What the hell was the name of it?
I know what you're talking.
It's like mom. It's like
it's
like a kamikaze or something, but it's one of those delicious shots that just goes down so smoothly. And we were drinking it out of an ice luge. It was just a fantastic party.
I like it. No, it was good times, but parties. I actually drank my first drinking experiences were with this gentleman I'm doing this podcast with now. We were the 2 oldest of our groups, or earliest to turn 21 by calendar year. And we used to go to Bill's Bar and drink. Oh, that's another thing. We didn't even talk about the OG drink, the original drink of our
cranberry.
It was amaretto cranberries or amaretto sours or anything with amaretto. I'm not somebody who just, I can't drink that again. But amaretto, I don't know if I could drink it.
I was looking for it today, and I was like, I really don't want to do
I don't think you could do it.
Cranberry.
It's not good.
I liked it though. It was so sweet. When I got really drunk, I would ask for an amaretto and D Serrano.
Actually, I remember that.
Which I would probably do right now. So, like, you want a double amaretto? I was like,
no.
What?
No, I remember one time you're like, no, I want the D Serrano and the amaretto. And they're like,
what?
That's the same thing, sir. And you're like, whatever. But yeah, amaretto, cranberry amarettos, amaretto sours, those were big back then. I just don't know if I could drink them now. But so those were our top drinks. Bill, if you need to jump off, I could just tease a couple things that we have. But I think
I'm here.
Okay.
Good.
So next week, what we're looking at this coming Saturday, May 23rd or 20. Actually, a lot of stuff happened on May 23rd, which will tie in. But quickly, the bigger things happened. It was the series finale of Lost, 10 years to the day. It was a Sunday night. We could talk about that, but I think next week's episode on for Tuesday Night Titans Live, I'm just making that up, but I like it. We will be doing something Lost centric, and that show had a lot of centric. It's probably one of the more, between the two of us, probably the combined history of like our fandom of one show, probably combined in is right there. Like we both could probably riff on that type of show for a long time.
So when we camped out for SummerSlam tickets 15 years ago as huge nerds, we went back and forth trying to list the first 3 seasons of Lost by the name of each episode, because that's how big of fans we were. And the first episode, what was it called?
Pilot.
Because
it was about the pilot. Well, the pilot was heavily involved.
Pilot was like eaten.
He was where they were aiming to go, but it's also called Pilot because everything's called Pilot. But they double innuendoed it. Also, I used to be able to name every episode name and every character's full name. I don't know how far it could get now with the characters' full names. Episodes probably couldn't even tell you the third name. Like I think Tabula Rasa was the first. It was like the first non-pilot episode.
Pilot 2, Tabula Rasa.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, but aside from that, like I don't know. Which means
clean slate.
Ooh, in what language?
I don't know.
I just make it up, but we would have agreed. Scandinavian, you're right. So next week we'll have something Lost-centric. I don't know if we want to go characters. I don't know if we're ready to do episodes because I'm really got that's a real tough one.
I don't know if we do back-to-back weeks of Lost.
The next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That's not making it. That's not get crazy. Maybe we could do 2 episodes on Lost next week. Also, May 23rd, unfortunate situation, is the anniversary of the death of Owen Hart. So Owen Hart, actually, Dark Side of the Ring tonight, I think is airing like in moments on the Vice Network as their Dark Side of the Ring, all about Owen Hart. And they're actually interviewing his wife, Martha, who somewhere in this special says that she will never allow Owen into the WWE Hall of Fame ever because it's not real. It's not a real Hall of Fame. It doesn't really highlight his things. I mean, the whole Hart family wants him to be in. So going to be very interesting to see where that comes up. But yeah, he passed away 21 years ago on May 23rd in Kansas City.
Yeah, sad day.
I just saw you smiling in the middle of that. I want to know what
I was reading a Kevin comment. He said, I drink Mick Ultras, White Claws, Batitas, and
Chick Ultras.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. I just like how that, like, right now I'm like, and Owen Hart died. And you're like, Anyways, but yeah, so that was 21 years ago. There will be some stuff coming out to our YouTube. I officially have almost done writing and getting some stuff built. I'll get it over to you. We'll start another little something that you'll just probably see on this YouTube channel, not live, just some created content like Billy did today. He created a response to Mac and Goo's podcast. Check that out on our Twitter at Pop Culture PD is on the Twitter. You can subscribe here on YouTube. We should have been saying this the whole time. Please subscribe. It'll help us go, a lot. Help us out a lot with that. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can search Pop Culture Pile Driver. Also later this week, I'll probably just do this. Depending on Bill, if you want to, absolutely you can. But AEW's Double or Nothing is Saturday. I'll probably do a quick preview of that. Might just be a short that's on the podcast. So just subscribe. They're going to be throwing content at you from every which angle, whether it's here on YouTube live on Tuesday nights, maybe some other stuff that we'll be adding. We will have some content on our Twitter. You can see us respond to people. I also love the idea of us responding to other podcasts. Only going to help. And then, we just, don't forget to follow Billy at BillyD2411. You can follow me at Jason D Rossi. Most importantly, Pop Culture Pile Driver at Pop Culture PD. And again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on iTunes, Google Play, wherever you find your podcast, Pop Culture Pile Driver. That's 2 words. I've come to find out. Just so you know. All right, we'll catch you all next week. Frank says hi.